What's going on, guys? Mike Anderson here at the 1% Solution and Living Motion Monograms. Welcome to part 2 of our DJ system build out. Now today we're going to be going over some customization tips, and we're going to be concentrating more on our connections panel, how we're going to connect our audio, our power, everything. And in the past we've used custom design panels that we got from Ben Stover at NLFX. He kind of hooked us up with some that I'll show you in a second. But we're going to do something a little bit different for this build. And I know a lot of people put the connections on the outside. One thing that does worry me about that is just them getting beat up or broken on the outside of the case itself. So I think we've got a pretty cool way of actually incorporating them into the system and have them protected when we're done with the event that night. Check it out. So as you can see here, we've got our Odyssey case, and we've got 2 rack spaces down below, but you can see quite a bit of room on each side of our rack spaces. And so one of the things we're going to do is we're actually going to put our connectors for this case right here and in this void here. So pretty much on both sides. And the reason for this is that when we get done with an event at the end of the night and we want to go ahead and make everything nice and secure, when we put this front panel on, those connections are going to be protected. So they're not going to get beat up, they're not going to get bashed on the outside of the case, and the outside of the case is going to stay nice and clean looking. So the way we're going to do that, first break everything. And you can see we've got our 2-space rack panel here. What we're going to do is we're actually going to take this and slide it in there we are. So if we slide this in, you can see I've got it kind of wedged in here. We're going to go ahead and bring it in, just kind of, and see where we're going to make our little mark here. So we've got some room. We can slide this in and out. One of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and have it slide into the case is just to give it a little bit, once I do screw it into our later on when we do screw it into the spacers here. Now, one of the reasons why I want to make a full-length panel from our connectors here all the way back is because if we slide it into the foam here, this is going to be rock solid. It's not going to move, it's not going to budge, and it's going to be nice and tight. So we're going to go ahead and we'll be able to make our mark here because we have lots and lots of wiggle room, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And we're going to do the exact same thing for the other side and then cut out our panel. And instead of trying to do something completely custom, we can use this 2-space, a lot less expensive than some of the metal, and it's already got our holes drilled out on each side of it. So let's see how that looks. So as you guys can see, we've got our panels cut and in place. You can see we still have a little bit of a gap here, which I think will be taken care of a little bit later in the build as we put our connectors in to our panels, our new panels here. And so the panels do reach into the case itself, so they are going to be nice and strong. You can kind of see here how it lines up and lines up with our holes. Next step is going to be we got to figure out what we're going to put in these and what connectors for which side. All right, I think I got a game plan here. I think on the left side here, we're going to go ahead and put basically our speakers. So we're going to have our power out. We're going to have our 2 highs and our 2 lows for subs if we want to add subs. And then on the right side, I think what we're going to do is put our booth outs, in case we want to use those, our DMX out, and our power in. So left side will be power out, right side will be power in. And now we just have to figure out how we're going to get these all to fit on our 2 panels. One of the things you'll notice is before I took these panels out, I also marked basically the space that we have here on both sides. So that's gonna help out a lot when it goes to figuring out the layout. So let's figure out our layout and see what we do next. All right, so we got our panel all marked out and found the center of each square. Basically, just did a whole little punch there in order to guide our drill. Another little tip, if you guys want to save some time and money, one of the things you'll notice here is I actually bought an 8-channel audio snake that were all XLRs, and what we're going to do is use this, basically chopped it in half, gave us bare ends on one side, and then started dividing the cables up. So, and if you label these, it makes things a lot easier. We got sub right, here we got top right, sub left, and then top, oh, what's this here? So top right. So we got our subs and we got our sub left, right, top left, right, and then inside, we took 2 of them. These are our microphones, so mic 1, 2. This is gonna be our, going to our transmitter. So from our booth out to one side of our transmitter. And then the purple here is going to be our DMX. And then we've got 2 more, which are going to run to our booth here on another cable there. And then the other ends, basically, I put in the little mesh cable sleeves that you can buy, and to keep those all nice together and a little bit more clean looking and stuff. So should make setup a lot easier and keep everything nice and neat underneath the hood here. So let's go ahead and cut our holes out. All right, now we got to cut out our holes, and the way we're going to do that, our trusty power drill and our step drill bit. So this is going to allow me to just kind of progressively make the holes bigger and bigger that we have punched out, and make sure we get the correct size and that it fits nice and snug. Now, one of the reasons why I like using the step drill bit is because as I'm cutting this, if I notice that I'm starting to get too close to one side or the other, or if my measurements aren't perfect, then if I'm using, say, like a hole saw, I'm going to be locked into that spot right there. But this, I can kind of step down one by one, and by putting just a little bit of pressure, up, down, left, or right, I can kind of guide this in order to make the holes exactly where I want them. And it's starting to come together. Now, it's always a good idea to do kind of a dry fit with your plugs and everything, just to know which orientation that you want them to go in. As an example, if this was turned the other way, then we might have issues as far as reaching or getting to this latch here. And so this is going to let us know exactly which way we want to do things. But at the same time, it's also going to let us know if the rest of our holes are going to be in the right spot. This, I can see it's going to be a little tight with connectors, so I'm going to kind of guide this to bring our holes just to, create a little bit more space in between. Here's what we ended up with. So basically, we've got our little dry fit here. I do this so that I can see which direction I want these tabs to go, so when we do release these and take these out, that they're not going to interfere with each other. It'll also let us know where we're going to mark our holes in order to drill them out for our connecting bolts. All right, we got our 2 panels cut, deburred, and nice and clean. We're gonna go ahead and hit it with a coat of paint, make them look nice and new. All right, so we got our panels painted up, they're dry. We got our connectors put right inside, so they look good. They're ready to go inside the system, but it's gonna do it for us on this episode. Hey, make sure you guys join us on the next one because we're gonna be doing our soldering. We're gonna install these bad boys in our system and continue the build. So if you guys haven't already, take a moment, smash that like button down below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to get the next update on when the next video is going to be uploaded, you'll be notified. And hit the little bell icon next to it if you want to get notifications for when that next episode is going to be uploaded and ready to go. Should just be a few days, so don't miss out on all the new content, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you take a moment if you haven't already. Join us on Facebook, on our Facebook pages. That's, of course, our Facebook groups, Living Motion Monograms, and the 1% Solution. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Now, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join the 1% Solution family so you don't miss out on any new videos or live streams that happen. Thanks for watching.